this is Phoenix here, and today we're going to be doing another top 10 list, and this time, as again, it's going to be on video game music, and this one's going to be about top 10 of my favorite video game music progression. Now, I don't necessarily mean prog rock like Pink Floyd, King Crimson, or even the band Yes, although I would definitely love to talk about them more often because, well, those are some of my favorite bands. But anyways, what I mean by progression in video game music, I mean the way how a song starts from one thing and then builds up and just gets progressively even more epic as it goes on. So pretty much an epic build-up, which I'm always a huge fan of those within music in general, but this time we're going to be taking a look at video game music that has that element. And as always, there's a shitload, so obviously I can't mention everything, so there's not much more to explain upon that. But anyways, one last thing I will have to say here is that, in case you're wondering why this video is probably much longer than the normal ones that I do, at least for the top 10 videos, and that's because I'm actually showing more of the preview of the song just so you know how the song progressively builds up, so that's why I'm keeping this one a little bit longer. So with that being said, let's get this list started. So at number 10, we have Death Smiles with Burning Halloweentown. Now I have to say, this is a pretty awesome shoot 'em up that is an exclusive to the Xbox 360, although now you can get it on Steam, but for a long time it was only on that system. So I will say, the music in this game is pretty damn fantastic, and the reason why I really like this song a lot is because it definitely has a really good progression going on. So it starts out with a very nice string instrument piece, then builds up with a mixture of techno and pipe organ. It's a very gothic style song which definitely suits the game. And eventually we get some guitars kicking in there, so yeah, this is definitely a pretty epic tune if you ask me. And as for number 9, we have Stella Glow with Harbinger Boss Theme. Now this is a great tactical RPG that definitely has some great music in it, and this is easily one of my favorite songs within the game, not counting any of those song magic songs, kinda similar to the ones from Art Tanelico. But those songs are definitely amazing as well, but I just wanted to talk about this one first. So it starts out with a piano piece which does sound very nice, and then it has a pretty cool sounding build up with some guitars and drums. Then it gets some violin that is also followed up by the guitar and the drums. And then you get some choir stuff thrown in a little bit after, and I think it blends quite well. It definitely does suit the part of the game where this song plays for sure. as for number 8, we have Castlevania Sympathy of the Night with Alucard's theme. I'm pretty sure I don't need to explain much here, considering that I'm sure most of you are familiar with this song, but yeah, the song fucking rocks. So I really like the whole ambient sound and keyboard with the follow-up with the guitar, and it just builds up and gets more heavier, then you get like the drums kicking in, and that's when it gets to the really catchy part that I just love. And I think it's a great thing that they played this song at the beginning of the game, because it just lets you know that you're in for a treat, and it's gonna be an awesome one. As for number 7, we have Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner Raidu Kusunoha versus the Soulless Army with And Now the Decisive Battle. Yeesh, that was a long ass name. Personally, I consider this one to be one of the more underrated SMT games. Well, at least compared to most of them that came out in North America. But anyways, I always found the music in this one was pretty cool. It always sounded very jazz-like, but as for this song though, no, it's not jazz-like at all. So it starts off with a catchy drum beat that sounds like something you're about to be going into battle for. In fact, I think this part was actually used in the title screen if I remember correctly. So it has some electronic stuff fading off to the distance, and you get some like small guitar pieces here and there. But then it really builds up to a part with horns, and it just sounds really epic. It sounds like one of those moments where you just know that shit is about to get real. So get real, motherfucker. As for number 6, we have Metal Gear Solid 3 with Snake Eater. Aw yeah. Now I don't think I need to explain much on this one because, well, it's fucking Metal Gear. So it starts out with some horns and then gets into like some bass and like light guitar. In fact, I always found this song kind of reminds you of something that would play in a James Bond movie. Then again, James Bond did take place in this type of era, and not only that, but they even talked about James Bond movies inside this game, which is pretty funny. So then after the light guitars and the piano and the bass and such, it gets to the big part where it gets really catchy. Now, just for this preview, I did put in the instrumental version just because I could, but I will just say right now is that I really do like the vocals in this song. I think it suits very well, and also, well, I just think the lyrics are kind of funny. Like, someday you'll feed on a tree frog. Yeah, that's why I don't sing often, because I'm awful at it, but anyways, I fucking love this song, and I love the way how it progresses. And as for number 5, we have Bloodborne with theme of Cleric Beast. I'll be honest, I have not heard much songs within this game, but from the songs that I have heard, I really do enjoy this OST. So what I really like about this song is that how it starts out to be very ambient and very creepy sounding, which suits the game perfectly considering that this game definitely has some amazing atmosphere. But then after that you get some violin pieces that also sound very creepy sounding, and there's even an epic choir going on because this is actually the theme of the first boss that you fight in the game. And I have to say, having this kind of theme for the first boss is pretty damn insane. I guess it just lets you know that things just cannot get easier. But still, I really do love that epic build-up. And I need to progress farther through this game because I suck cock at it. Now as for number 4, we have Lost Odyssey with The Never-Ending Journey. It almost sounds like The Never-Ending Story. But that has nothing to do with it, so anyways. So this song plays on the map screen, and I have to say it's probably one of my favorite map screen themes. So it starts out with some light acoustic guitar that does sound pretty catchy. And then you get a very nice sounding flute coming in, and it almost sounds like Aztec music, and I kinda like it. And as it goes on, it gets more melody thrown in, I guess you can say. I don't know how to properly describe that. But then the most unexpected thing happens is that, out of nowhere, a kick-ass guitar solo comes in and it just makes you think like, holy shit, this song is awesome. So it's pretty amazing that it goes from acoustic guitar, then to a flute, and then to like some heavy metal riffs, which is pretty damn epic. So I was not expecting that at all the first time I heard this song, but I can't complain at all because I fucking love it. As for number 3, we have NieR with Kane Escape. I know I have said it many times before, but I just love the music in this game. So the song starts out with a nice piano piece, and then it builds up to the string instruments, and then of course it has that singing that I so dearly love, and it just gets really catchy. Now it sounds very similar to the other song in the game called Kane Salvation, but this one's much more faster paced and definitely much more positive sounding. And it also just feels very epic and motivational. But yeah, when it comes to the game NieR, you really can't go wrong with the music whatsoever. as for number 2, we have Artenelico Melody of Alemia with EXEC Harmonious. Now, I remember in one of my older top 10 lists, I said that I wasn't going to mention any of the hymno song from the series because, well, it'd be kind of cheating because, well, the music is just so damn amazing. But anyways, I figured I'd mention this one right here because, well, this song is pretty damn fantastic. And it definitely suits this kind of progression list, so I figured I'd mention it here. But in case you don't know what I'm talking about with the hymnos stuff, basically hymnos is a language that was made up within the game, and then they had people that sang songs using that language. It's pretty impressive. So anyways, the beginning of the song comes out with this like very quiet sounding chanting. It's pretty mysterious sounding, but I really like it. So then of course it gets more into the folk stuff, because that's really the closest thing I can think of, is that it sounds very folk. So as it goes on, you get some organ, some piano, and then shit starts to get really intense sounding. It almost sounds like you're going to be fighting a final boss, which is very appropriate because this song does play during the final boss fight, and I just really love it for that. So I really cannot complain whatsoever about this song, considering it is one of my favorites within the first game. But before we continue on, one thing I will mention here that I did find to be kind of amusing is that there's a part of this song that kind of reminds me of something from Nightmare Before Christmas, which is pretty damn awesome. Although it could just be me being crazy, but I don't know. It's awesome, so it's all good. It's time for me to mention some honorable mentions. So this seems pretty self-explanatory, so I'll just be naming a couple of them here and there, so here it goes. So we have Tales of Exilia with Battle for a Future to Believe In. Then there's The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel with Into the Abyss. And then there's Xenosaga Episode 1 with Zarathustra, I think that's how you say it. Then there's Wild 9 with Track 2. Then there's The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim with the main theme. Then there's Magical Knight Rayearth with Silent Forest. And then there's Mind Zero with Kontakras. I have no idea what the fuck I'm saying it. And then lastly I'll mention is Deception 4 Blood Ties with Runes of Skarnidi B. So those are just some random ones I can mention that I do remember having some progression going on with them that I also do really like a lot. And like I said before, there's like a shit ton more of these, so feel free to suggest more because, well, I'm just always willing to listen to more music. So now, let's go to the number one spot, and that happens to belong to Shadow Heart's Covenant with The Fate. Man, oh man, there's just so much I can talk about this one. But unfortunately, I won't be able to say as much as I would like to because the part where this song plays in the game was kinda sorta has spoilers, so I won't mention that. But I'll definitely say one thing is that this song definitely suits that cutscene perfectly. So the song begins with a light acoustic guitar, which sounds pretty awesome. Then you have some light piano in the background, and then you get some atmospheric stuff. And I have to say, the beginning part of this song kind of reminds me of something that Dream Theater would make, which is pretty damn amazing. And then eventually it gets to the big part, which just screams like, holy fucking shit, this is amazing. So you get some drums, you get some guitar, then you get some like singing kinda sorta, and then there's some violin. It actually works out very well, and it just sounds so epic, especially with the cutscene that it plays in. So after that, it dies down a little bit, but then it goes back to a big part where it starts having an epic violin solo, which is just phenomenal. So not only do I love these games and I love their music, but this song alone is just blew my mind. So personally, this is one of my all-time favorite build-ups within video game music progression. I guess it does kind of help with the fact that this song does sound kind of similar to something like Dream Theater or Pink Floyd or something. But I personally can't complain here because I love all those bands, so either way, I fucking love this one. that'll take us to the end of this video, so there's not much to say here, but like I said before, feel free to do a video response or list some of your favorite ones in the comments, or even an idea for another top 10 list involving video game music, or even something kinda related to video games. I'm always open for ideas. But anyways, we'll take us to the end right here, so thanks for watching and commenting.